Hi everyone, I'm Peyton. I'm coming at y'all from the North Georgia Tennessee line, and this is actually my friend Kelly. And we have not actually met in real life either, which may shock the pants off of most of you, but no, pretty much all my friends are virtual. So, and it's okay. But I think you're the better storyteller here. Do you want to talk about how we met?
Well, like you said, virtually, right? Like online, which just still shocks me that we have not met in person. And it's crazy when you don't meet people and you meet them online. It's like you meet people, like, and when you meet them in person, it's like that part of you that was missing in life, you know. And I think that being able to, like, we grow up with people so often, and sometimes we're just friends with people because we've been friends with them for a long time. But then, like, with, especially when you're a content creator and you're telling your life online, you really vibe with people when you meet people. And I think that's how me and you met. Like, we were watching each other's stories and we realized, like, we have a lot in common and we're both down the rabbit hole. And that's a very few and far between of my friends, especially ones that I grew up with. Nobody was down the rabbit hole. So I know that we bonded over finding things and putting things together and sending them back and forth. Like, did you see this or did you see that? What are your thoughts on this? Because there's not too many people, and in like friend groups that you can actually, especially girlfriends, that know about this or that don't call you a conspiracy theorist or say that you're crazy or any of those things. So I think that's pretty much how we started becoming friends, was going down the rabbit hole, fellow bunnies.
Sure. Like, uh, 2020 was hard because all the things, and I was like, this is just not right. This is just not right. And you were like, this is not right. And
But we knew it was coming.
then the bank robbery happened in November, and I was like, that wasn't right either. And I was actually voted in Wayne County in Michigan. So I was like, oh, great. I remember calling my friends in Idaho that day from the parking lot and being like, okay, y'all, I've done this a lot, and that was not like usual.
Right. But when you talk to regular people about it, that's not, uh, you know, that's not knowledgeable about any of these things or aware that these things are going on. It's like that cognitive dissonance where they're just like, it's like a glaze, you're like, this isn't normal. This doesn't add up. And they just like, just a coincidence, or, and they just shrug it off. So when you have somebody that actually has a brain and does critical thinking, it's like, it's nice to have a friend like that. And
Yeah,
that's definitely how we became friends.
I agree. Actually, I don't even know who we were talking about. It was like a family member of some on some leg of the family. And another family member was like, well, she had lung cancer. And I was like, she was probably using bleach in her house. And she's like, well, I mean, she never cleaned. She had a cleaning lady. I was like, she slept on the sheets. She was in taking the chemicals on her.
Right. People don't get that. Though, I mean, now my mom is never that person. And now I hear on the phone, 5, 10 years later, telling her friends about deodorant and how harmful, aluminum is, and how it's and I just watched some stuff the other day about I didn't get to send you this. This is what we do. We send each other stuff back and forth, but it was saying, like, the next attack is going to be like as if we're like, it's like putting 10 foil in a microwave, like our bodies, so like to do a heavy metal detox. So I should have brought it out. I should have grabbed it, but I have the big thing of I'll grab it. Hold on, this is important. Have you been down this rabbit hole?
The borax, no. What happened?
Yeah, so I've been taking a bath with, wait, Arm and Hammer and borax.
See,
um
let me tell you what else borax and Arm& Hammer are good for. If you have carpets in your house and you live in an area like the South where there's fleas, you can sprinkle that into your carpets
mhm.
and leave it for like 4 hours and then vacuum it back up, and it'll not only make them smell great, but it will like dehydrate any fleas that are in
I
there.
use diatomaceous earth. um So like my old house, we lived on a pond. So but we didn't want chemical sprayed in our house. So we actually used diatomaceous earth. But I've been like, and there's like a whole rabbit hole on borax, and people think it's just like, it says laundry booster, but that's what, for what I've researched, that's just what they label it, because it actually comes from the element boron, and it has like a lot of basically like, the heavy metals will bond to this and then come out of your body. So when you get a bath, and no lie, I swear, I've
It's
seen this on TikTok, and then I did the actual detox bath to get rid of all the chemicals. There was little black specks all over the bathtub, and that was coming out of my pores. So, and they also have Celtic salt. So Celtic salt, borax, baking, Arm & Hammer baking soda. I usually use like apple cider vinegar too. But so like learning all this stuff, like at first I was scared, but then I'm like, wait, what can I do to prevent this stuff? So doing the detox bath, of course, with like replacing all the items from my house, the stuff that we use, like the Tide and all that. But the first step was eliminating it from my body. So you'll have to go get some borax tonight. Go to Walmart, go to the, not Walmart, but anywhere Walmart.
Because I like holistically.
Well, most people have borax in their house.
I have apple cider vinegar. I know I have baking soda. I am pretty sure I have borax.
Celtic salt.
Celtic salt.
Celtic salt. So when you get off this, I'm sure Big Brother will catch you up on it, because as soon as you get on TikTok, that'll be the next video you see. It'll be about, the borax. I swear it will. You're going to be sending it to me tonight. So it's going to pick up on it. But that's like the biggest thing. So it's funny because, my boyfriend now, he was not into any of this stuff, but my favorite thing about him is he's so eager to learn. He was already a Republican, or already conservative, because he was in the military, and most military are conservative because of what they've seen. But so he's very open to all of this. He's never called me crazy, even though he never knew of any of this stuff. Any of the stuff that I could throw anything at him, from reptilian to whatever. He never looks at me like I'm crazy. He just always like is eager to be like, he doesn't say it's 100% true what I'm saying, and neither do I. I mean, neither do you. We don't know that it's 100%. One thing I've learned is that I don't know anything, what I've learned could be wrong, like everything. And it's just question everything. I don't believe that what I say is true or what I've heard is true. It's just the possibility that anything is possible is probably the main gist of what I've learned going down the rabbit hole.
I think mine was, these people are nuts. I'm about to prove them wrong. I'm about to prove them crazy. And then I'm like,
They're evil.
oh, maybe they're not crazy.
So I was like the first batch of I never had that looking at other people, because I was one of the first people that I knew that even spoke about this stuff. Like back in 2010, 2011. I mean, I know people knew about it in the 90s, but my friend group didn't. People I had on my Facebook didn't. So I was the first wave.
Died that day that Farrah Fawcett died, and then Michael Jackson died. That was like the day that started my research and going down the Bilderberg rabbit hole and all the things.
What year was that?
In 2011. And I was like, oh my God, y'all. And
about the same time. I remember.
No. And I'm like, okay, I can't talk to any of my friends about anything. So great. Awesome. I'll just go back to doing everyone's hair and making pretty.
But no, my friend, that, she loved Michael Jackson. And I remember we were just starting 2010, 2011. And when Michael Jackson, we were like, wow, there really is something. Because, I mean, his last tour was This Is It. There was just so much. I mean, even with like, the virus, everything, it was like, this is stuff that people called us conspiracy theories about. And then theorists, but then it comes true. And it's like, well, now what are we? Lucky guessers? Like, I mean, it's just relational learning. Like you put the pieces all together, like you said, the Bilderberg, you go to the education system, the pharmaceutical industry, the prison systems, everything. And it's like, why are they all messed up? Why are they putting chemicals in our product? Why are they putting chemicals in the air, in the water? Why are we drinking fluoride when we know that Hitler used that to dumb people down? Like and that's why I like the borax and the baking soda and because it detoxes. Because we can't, there's no way. I mean, I could try all I want to get all the stuff out of my body, but at the end of the day, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So my main thing was always to the things that I did every day.
Because I'm an experimenter.
Same.
Because I don't have a human child, but I went and got a thing of baby food so I could put it in a Ziploc bag and smoosh it out and take.
Because you're worried about other people's babies. You have a big heart.
Oh my God, there's little metal particles in there. So out of curiosity, I sat in front of my pantry. I was like, what do I consume? So I went to my coffee and sprinkled some coffee granules in a plastic bag and did the same thing, smushed them out, and then took a magnet, and it's in that too. It's in that too. I've seen that. I was that butthole at Sam's that went and had magnets and was finding all the magnetic meat. Yeah, that was me.
But there's got to be people like you. That's and it's so crazy you say that. So I'll never forget when I was in fourth grade or fifth grade. There was a boy in my class, and his science project, his science. Remember we had the science fair projects, the big trifold boards. Well, he won that year, won the whole out of our whole school, and it was fee fi fo thumb. Is that iron on my thumb? And he took a magnet to all the cereals that we were eating and all like different things. And I remember I'll never forget that. And I mean, back then it's just so funny. It's like God was showing even back then that something's not right. And I mean, this like even our food has changed from the 90s to now. Like you eat a box of Velveeta mac and cheese, it does not taste the same way it did 20 years ago.
Remember Pop Tarts were so good when I was a child, and then I had one like 2008, and I was like, this tastes like cardboard with like sugar on it. What happened?
Oh, and the meat now. I saw TikTok videos where they're pouring vinegar on chicken to clean it, and it's falling apart. It's lab meat. Because while they're showing us the Titanic, they were or that the whatever submarine, they were passing lab meat.
Mm.
And it's probably been in the stores, but that's why I'd say I the biggest thing is just growing your own food.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I'm really excited that Melaleuca has the new beef. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's really
I
good. I actually
know
had it
that
in
like
Idaho.
McCormick spices also have metal in them. So I was really excited about that as well.
Oh, the meat is incredible. The subscriptions make it affordable too because you can't trust where you're getting your meat from, and like plus local farmer, and some people do, but this is Melaleuca's nice because it puts it on a subscription plan, and you're already getting your household products from there, but you're also able to get meat, and really really good meat, and you can get it in different. You could do it like every other month. You can regulate how often that you want it because not everybody eats. Some people eat a lot of meat. We eat a lot of meat. Some people don't. So it makes it nice, and that it's coming from a place that's safe and that's all organic and healthy and not grass fed because you can't trust stuff. You can't. I mean, and for me, it was always like I know right away when I was using products, because everything's greenwashed. I mean, just with my hand products, I remember Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works hand stuff would make my hands break out. So my body was literally telling me like this is not good for my body. And then when I was using Seventh Generation and what was the other one? The one, not Seventh Generation, but
You used to probably use Eucerin.
yeah. But anyways, it would my hands would still break out. And I'm like, why is it breaking out if this is supposed to be non-toxic? Like,
Actually,
but
the one that got me on this Renew stuff, and I
oh,
was
I've been using that like crazy. I've been using that like crazy in the summer because I sweat and I rub and I just rash and all the things. But yeah, that helps a lot. But for me, with anything, like it comes to moderation. Like I can't be scared of all the things that I hear and see, but the things that I changed in my life are things that I did every day. So like every night or whenever I get a bath, I can do a detox bath. Every day I drink coffee. I'm gonna make sure it's organic because coffee beans are the number one processed or the number one. They have the most preservatives on them. The coffee beans do. My laundry soap, how I wash my hands, what I put in my hair, what I put on my face, stuff that I do every day. Now, am I gonna have like a bag of Cheetos sometimes? Yeah, like if I'm gonna spray perfume, that's probably just it's the things that I do every day that I'm very concerned about. My toothpaste, my deodorant, and I don't let all the bad stuff in the world scare me because I know that God's, the ultimate. He's got our back. We can't let going down. And that's what over the last 10 years, 12 years taught me was not to be afraid, but to do what I can about it. Change things I do every day and not participate in the game. Meaning, don't give my money to bad businesses. Don't shop at Walmart. Don't. That's you can't really vote. We know we can't vote. We can only vote with our dollar. You can't vote in the polls. That doesn't count, right? Our votes don't count there, but they count where the money goes. So don't give it to BlackRock and don't give it to And it's hard sometimes. They own everything, but the majority of the things, try not to. That was probably my biggest takeaway from going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, what I've realized is a lot of people in the military have no idea. And
Until they get in the military, then once they get out, there's a lot of them that are they're conservative, but they don't know. They don't.
well, I
I
believe
wouldn't say they don't have no idea. They know them it's messed up because they've been in the military,
I
but
believe
they
that
don't
they're
know
just
about
dogs and machines. So they're just like following that order,
right.
like they aren't
But they know
told,
it's not right.
they
They know
aren't
what they're
given
seeing is
the
not
whole
right. They
book.
just
They
don't know
aren't even
why.
given the whole chapter. Sometimes they're like, here's these 3 pages, do this.
Right.
And then the next 3 pages will be somebody else's responsibility.
Did you ever watch Probably Alexandria? I know I've talked about that before, but anybody's watching, I wanted to tell Probably Alexandria is because if this is all new to you, Probably Alexandria really goes through the rabbit hole step by step on her podcast and everything, and it's she has YouTube videos, and it really and it puts it in a light to where she's not telling you what is, she's just encouraging you to research for yourself, but she puts it in a way that makes it digestible and a good light on it because this can scare you. That's what the biggest thing is. It can scare you. There are things that we can do about it, like detox and switch our products and switch where we pay and what we consume, and not only what we consume in our mouth and on our body, but in our brains, like what we're watching, like NCIS and CSI, all that stuff. It's bad for you because your brain doesn't know when things are happening to you, or if when you're watching something, it doesn't know that that's happening to you or somebody else. It just sees it. So then it picks up in our subconscious, and that's dangerous. So and that's why being around negative people, you pick up their habits and their behavior and their energy.
You do. One thing I've noticed is since I've removed toxic people, ingredients, cleaners, just anything really, my life has been a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm. You allow room for the positive, the good.
But you can't like you can't have one thing if you're too busy with the other. So I had to
Mm-mm.
get rid of all the things.
Just like men, if you're busy with the wrong one, you won't find the right one.
Sucked for a little while, but you know what? It was fun. Like it ended up being fine. So
Mm-hmm. And that's like when it was supposed to be over.
yeah. Well, Kelly, where can they find you?
Everywhere. On TikTok, everything's just my name, Kelly Piasik. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I probably even have a Twitter, which I don't mess with. But mainly, I would say TikTok. If you want to reach me the fastest, TikTok or Facebook. So that's where I live, especially TikTok. I was sending videos, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really
Thank you for having me.
and
I
I
needed this. I needed this.
hang on just a hot second.